Hello, Vishal. Hello, hello. How are you?
Wow, yes, I'm doing great. I love this video. It's so powerful.
Yes, I love it too, and I love the music. It's so upbeat and I really like it.
Yes, very
So,
fun.
yeah, Vishal, tell the people that are watching us about you. Tell us who you are, what are you doing, and let's get moving.
So, hello, my name is Vishal, award-winning author and international speaker, and I love to help people. And I'm just so glad that you've decided to have me on your show, Mia.
Thank you, thank you. So we're going to talk today about relationships because I have, maybe I'll just put this thing at the bottom here. I'm going to have this Extreme Wisdom series starting next Wednesday. And we're going to talk about relationships, and we're going to talk about emotions and how to manage a different situation in life. And I wanted to discuss with you life.
I love
Let's
it.
let's talk about life.
I love it. So, Mia, just before I ask you these questions, in like a minute, can you tell some of the people that know me that don't know you yet, just in a minute, a little bit about you and who you are so they have an idea?
Okay, so I'm a businessman, and I operate in many countries across the globe. I have lots of businesses in different areas, high tech, real estate, many different areas. And over the years, people ask me, how do I print money? And my initial thought was, I'm just Jewish, so it's natural. But actually, when I started to look, I saw that there are quite a few Jewish people that don't have money. So it's obviously not being Jewish, but there is some kind of a knowledge that actually make you succeed. And what I realized that what get you to have a lot of money is your quality as a person,
Hmm.
the number of relationship, good relationships that you have, and the quality of the relationships that define your overall condition in life, how healthy, how wealthy, how happy you will be.
Hmm.
And you see that actually once you fix the person relationships, and the relationships I'm talking about, your relationship with others, other relationship with you, other in relationship to other people, and you with relationship to yourself. When you handle all those things, you will see that the byproduct is that you have whatever you want. And once I realized that, I started to teach people about themselves, about relationship, and I have this whole system that it is basically spiritual businesses. So what do I mean? You take a business and you correct first. You first correct the person to make sure that he makes money, but immediately after that, in order to make it bigger and in order to make it sustainable, you fix the person's spiritual condition. And only then you can actually get the person to do very well. So yes,
Interesting.
the first thing is you need to get the person to make money, because when you are hungry, you cannot be spiritual. But immediately after you handle that, you really need to handle the spiritual side.
See, that's so interesting because some people's understanding of spirituality is completely different to what you've just said. So,
Yeah.
can you throw some light on that? Because it makes so much sense to me that you can't really be spiritual until you've taken care of some of your basic fundamental needs and you've got enough money to take care of your bills and you're not worrying as much. So,
Yeah.
yeah, can you throw a bit of light on that for us?
Yeah, if someone is hungry, if someone is about to go bankrupt, if someone cannot pay his electrical bills, his cell phone bill, he is not starting to, even if he will, He's not going to sit and meditate and say, "Oh, I'm going to become, I'm going to handle it by some kind of." It might be possible. I'm not saying that it's not possible, but from my observation, 99.99999% of the population, it doesn't work for them. So first of all, you need to be in a condition where you don't have a gun to your head, where you don't need to pay the bill right now, where you don't have a problem with eating, with sleeping, where the landlord don't throw you out from your apartment. Once you've handled that, then we can improve your condition so that will not be a problem.
I see.
First of all, you need to handle the boring day-to-day issues of, is my flat organized? Is my car clean? What's happening with my immediate income? Do I actually have income? Do I make more than I spend? The normal, simple thing. Once this has been removed, now we can handle you spiritually. And when you try to do that, the opposite, what usually people do, they say, I don't need anything, I don't need anything. Yeah, I understand, you don't need anything, but it's not so comfortable to live when you don't have money to eat. And it's not so, your attention is not on what's going on right now when you think that in 2 weeks, the bank will come and take your car away. You need to handle these things first. And so I've developed a whole system that take a person from just handling the immediate problem, then pushing him spiritually to a totally new level, and then getting him to demonstrate in the physical universe the result. Because if you are the best, the highest level spiritually, you are like the highest level, okay? Like if Buddha will look at you and will say, whoa, I need to learn from you. But if you don't bring result in the physical universe, as far as I'm concerned, you're a failure.
Makes sense.
The end result of spiritual enlightenment is total control over the physical universe.
Wow.
Becoming slave to the physical universe. The end result of spirituality is total control over the physical universe. And if you don't get that and you just get good feelings, it's good. I'm not against good feeling, but there are much easier ways to do that. Go take a joint and you'll have good feeling. You know, it might be with a lot of damages, yes, but the end result is not good feeling. The end result is demonstration of results in the physical universe, and the good feelings is the byproduct of you demonstrating your abilities. The only real good feeling, the only non-chemical good feelings, the only good feeling that are really yours of the spirit is the feeling that comes from results. Demonstrated result. When you actually demonstrating your abilities, the side effect is you'll become happy.
Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, Meir, so I appreciate you clarifying that. It makes a lot of sense. Now, I've got a series of questions that I want to ask you based on from well-being to wealth to relationships. So I'm going to take each one in line. And I know if you're listening, this is going to blow your mind because some of the things and the way he shares them is not the usual way of thinking about things. And to me, it makes a lot of sense. So I want you to observe and see if it makes sense for you as well.
Yeah.
So the first question I have is that I think most people are now aware that there is so much more attention going around the subject of mental health. And more people are struggling with dealing with and handling their mental health. And I think it's become more and more apparent during this so-called COVID-19 thing that's going on. So can you give some practical suggestions of how to deal with someone who's going through a mental health crisis from two perspectives? One, from the individual themselves, what can they do to the best of their ability? and the other people that are around that person, what can they do to help that situation?
Okay, good. So let's see why anyone will have a mental health issue. Okay. So you've got the spirit, and the spirit is super powerful. It's actually so powerful that it creates things. So the spirit is the nothingness that can bring about the somethingness. The spirit is the nothingness that can bring about the somethingness. Okay? And the spirit is so powerful that it cannot be hurt. Like you cannot kill the spirit. That's why the body die, but not the spirit. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
The question is, how can a spirit become sick? Because the spirit is a nothingness. Bodies become sick, but the spirit is perfect. You are perfect. Actually, anything that is not perfect is not you. So how can you take a spirit and make it sick? Well, the way to make a spirit sick is, first of all, you need to understand how does it happen. So you take the spirit, and the spirit is perfect. And when you are perfect and super powerful, you are bored. Because if I can do anything, then there's no game. Like who will play against me? If I'm Michael Jordan and everyone that play with me basketball is children of 3 years old, and they are the other side, it's like nothing. Yes, I don't have a game. It's not interesting. It's boring. Mm-hmm. That's what's happening for a spirit. It's so powerful that everything around is boring. So what's the handling for Michael Jordan? He will start to play with tying his hands behind his back. And he will put on himself more and more and more and more and more limitations to make the game interesting. And one day he will be so tied up with the hands behind his back and his mouth closed and he cannot see, and he will put on himself so many limitations that he will say, whoa, something is wrong with me. But he put the limitation on himself.
I see.
Every single limitation that you have, you put on yourself. You put on yourself the duct tape. You put on yourself the mask. You tied your hands behind your back. All of that you've done because you knew that you're so powerful that it's not a problem. But you've done it so much that all of a sudden you are like, whoa, I cannot get out of it. It's like all of a sudden you realize I'm in a trap, and you didn't know that you're getting into a trap that you cannot get out of. You were sure it's not a problem, I can get out of it. And all of a sudden you realize that you cannot get out of this trap. And what happened is you don't remember you put the trap. Create the trap. If you remember that you create the trap, then it will be quite easy, because what's this trap is composed of? The trap for the spirit is composed only of one thing.
What's that one thing?
All the mental issues, all the problems are they're all manifestation or views of one thing. And once you realize what it is, of course, you'll be able to fix it. Okay? And I will explain what is this one thing, but I want to draw it. Okay, I want to draw it so it will make actual sense. And you know, I like to draw stuff. Yes. So let me just open the Paint. I have the Paint program. And
I think it's great when you draw these things, because it gives people another perspective on it and another understanding, another view of it.
Yes, it's really helpful, I think. And let me just see how I'm sharing my screen. Here we go, share screen. And I want to share an application window.
By the way, while he's bringing out the Paint, why don't you share this video with someone you'd like to help? Because I know if you share this video, there's someone who's going to take some benefit from this. So share this video.
Thank you. Yes, I'm very, very, very good idea. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to draw this thing, and I will draw it on another screen. Let's see if, yes, I think that, yes, it will work. Perfect. Okay, So here we go. I'm going to draw it on another screen, so I will look to the side, so it might look weird, but you want to look at that white board. Okay, so imagine that this is you, okay? This is you, and let me just make you look beautiful. So this is you, and this is your body, okay? And I make you very thin before you put on weight and everything. Yes, this is you. And this is your mind, okay? And you will see that everything that you do in this universe is composed of start, change, and stop. Everything in this universe, a person is born, grow, and he dies. Okay, every single thing. You start, you change, and stop. This Facebook Live start, we will change something and it will stop. Now, when you're born, in your mind, what you have processes. Like the mind, you can think about the mind like a computer that has many processes, many processes, thousands of processes. Now, every time you start a cycle of action, you start, you change, but you did not stop. What happened is that one of those processes gets stolen. So you remember that it's open. Okay?
Yeah.
And then there's another cycle that open, and another cycle that open, and another cycle that open, and another cycle that open. And you know, if you take a PC or a computer and you open many programs, the computer will start to slow down. And if you open more processes, the computer will crash. So this thing that people feel as stress is just too many open cycles. And when you have like real deep depression, when you are like really, you cannot take it anymore, it's just that you open too many open cycles and now you have no computation power and you think that there is no future, because how much future a person has as much future as he have processes to create the future with. When you have all those processes occupied, you have no future. When you have them released, when you close cycles of action, when you have nothing new to do, everything is possibilities, then okay, fine, now you have a lot of future. So a child that got born have most of his processes open. So most of the children are quite happy, they don't worry, they get upset for 2 seconds, they fall, they hurt themselves, they fight with someone, and after 30 seconds, they forgot about it and it's not an issue. Why? Because they have a lot of computing power. As you get older, you rely more and more on a limited computer. What's this limited computer? Is a computer, very powerful computer, but very occupied. So the computer becomes slow. And you'll see that the older people become slower and the computer become occupied. So it cannot compute logical solutions. So older people start to get afraid of nonsense, of nothing. And the more open cycles you have, the worse you get. And it seems for people like life become difficult. The older you get, the more commitments you have, the more difficult it's become. No. The only thing is, the older you get, the more you collect incomplete cycles of actions. The thing is really simple. All you have to do, and if someone will do that, he will see that immediately you're going to feel 100 times better. All you have to do is to make a list. Just sit down and make a list of all the open cycles that you have. You make a list of all the open cycles that you have. And you make them whatever, in any order that they come to your mind.
And an example, can you give an example of an open cycle?
Example of open cycles, you wanted to clean the car.
But they didn't do it.
Sorry?
They thought about cleaning the car, but they didn't do it.
Yeah, but you didn't do that. You wanted to clean the car. You need to answer your emails. You need to talk to this guy that you're still upset with him since you were 3 years old. You hiding this thing from your wife. You didn't do this project that your boss asked you. You didn't clean the garage. You have open cycles. You need to talk to. You need to make your tax return. All those open cycles. You have many open cycles, and you just make them in a list. Make a list of open cycles, and now you take the first one, whatever was the first one, and you do it. And you do only that. You don't get tempted to do something else in between. You do only one cycle. Everything else can get delayed. The world can explode. It's fine. You're doing this one cycle. And then if you do another cycle and another cycle and another cycle, another cycle, all of a sudden you feel alive and you will not be depressed. If you are depressed only because you have open cycles. And sometimes those open cycles, you don't even know that you have them. So that's the type of open cycle. The one that are very obvious. I didn't do my emails. I didn't clean the car. I didn't do my dishes. I'm hiding something from someone. I'm hiding a lot of things from a lot of people. I need to do this job. I need to do this job. And that's the obvious thing. And that's one. But the majority of the open cycles are below your consciousness. And you need to handle them. But even if you do just those ones that you're aware of, you will immediately feel much, much, much better. And you will, because every time you actually close the cycle of action, you release a processor here, and you became more sane. You have more computing power, so you come up with more pro-survival solutions. You create more future for yourself. This is actually will give you more life. It will make your life longer. It will actually help you.
Okay, so Amir, let's say that there's some people who are so unwell that they can't even, they aren't willing to do this. They're not open to doing this. What can they do to start feeling better? What one or two things they can do if they're not really able to even do that at the moment?
Now, when someone got to a bad position where he cannot even do closed cycles of actions, he needs some help. Someone needs to help him. And the only thing that I will suggest that person to do is to go to a place where there's no disturbance, like no disturbance at all. Like go to the, go to the desert, go to a place where there's no people. Like there's no people, no car, no nothing, and someone need to be with you. And all you have to do with that person is get him to eat well, take lots and lots and lots of walks, and get him to work physically. Like move stones, dig holes, do some things that will actually get him to confront, to work with the physical universe, because for him it will be closing cycles of actions. And if you will just get him to do that, you will see that just by that, you make him work very, very, very hard physically. So he must go to sleep, because otherwise you will not be able to sleep. The mind will go so much open cycles. You need to get the person physically exhausted, like get him to work for 12 hours, 15 hours, get him to actually do physical work. So he is physically tired. Very, very healthy food, no sugar, no alcohol, no drugs, just really healthy food. And you will see that in 3 weeks, you will have a new person.
Wow. That's very, very powerful. It makes sense.
Yeah. In 3 weeks. And the only problem is if you start to take drugs will mess you up badly. Mess you up badly. Now, sometimes someone get to such a bad position that there's nothing other than giving him a sleeping pill or something like that. Sometimes the situation is so bad that you have to do that. But I'm talking about catching it well before. Not the guy like totally lost it, yes, where he has to be somehow restrained, because otherwise he will damage himself, yes. And of course, everything I'm telling you here is not to say that if something like that happens, you don't go to see a doctor. Go to see a doctor. Yes, it's really important. See a doctor. But what I'm telling you here will help you so you don't get to a situation where you need to go and see a doctor, where the situation is not bad, so you can handle it.
Makes a lot of sense. If someone just needs to go for a walk, get in nature somewhere far away, lots of space, and they need to eat good food, walk a lot, exercise, and in a few weeks they'll recover, yeah?
Yeah, just get the person to be totally, the purpose is to, number one, get him exhausted, and number two, to get him to handle a lot of physical things that does not require thinking, but physically he will close cycle of action. You move the stone from here to here. You build this wall. You do things that are actually closing cycles of actions, but they're very, very, very physical, so they don't require a lot of theoretical thinking because the guy is already overflown with theoretical thinking.
Got it.
That's all you do.
Brilliant.
Let me say hello to everyone here. So hi everyone on the chat. Hi. So we have here, I see, I'll just put the comments here. So Punmatish, hello, hi, how are you? And we have Ahmed, my friend. Ahmed is an amazing person, very good coach and amazing trainer. If you need any help, he is your guy. Amazing person. And we've got the first Facebook user that says, hi, Mayor, and hi, Vishal, another Facebook user, and another Facebook user that says, wow, and another Facebook user that says, wow, powerful advice, thank you, and very powerful, yes, and Ola, we like Ola, yes, and we've got Shamaya, very good information, yes, thank you very much. So, yes, really nice. Thank you. We're going to have on next Wednesday a webinar where I will actually get you all the data that has anything to do with why are you angry, why you get anxious, why you get depressed. It's a totally new series that's called the Extreme Wisdom series. It's going to be on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And to register, all you have to do is to go to gp100x.com and you can register. It's totally free. The first and maybe the second one will be free, and generally people will pay for it. It will cost $1,000 or the normal price without discount will be $1,000 per lesson. So you're getting it totally 100% free. Just register and you'll get the most powerful, unbelievable information. So I highly suggest that you will register www.gp100x.com. Okay. Vishal, let's continue.
Yeah.
By the way, I love your questions.
Thank
and I love
you.
talking to you. You are so nice. Really love you.
Thank you. And likewise.
Thank you.
And the second question I have is probably more exciting for some of the people that are viewing. It's more based on wealth. So let's say there's someone who has been trying really hard. They've been up and down with their wealth and the money that's coming in, their income. They make a little bit of money, they lose it. They make a little bit of money, they lose it. And they're trying the best that they can do, but they can't seem to bring in the kind of income that they want. So what are a few things that they can do to actually get the result?
Okay, so let's see why people don't have money. Okay, money is a communication system within society.
Interesting.
Yeah, so you've got people, and this is one person, and this is another person, and money is just a communication system. You move, it represents ideas, it represents value, it represents things, and you actually move it, you communicate between individuals in the society. Okay? Now, in order to communicate between two people, you need to have something really amazing to create communication. And I want to explain to you that communication is composed actually of two parts. Number one, and the most important part, is a carrying wave. There's a carrying wave because I can tell you I love you and you will think, whoa, he really loves me. And I can tell you I love you and you will think, he's just saying it on automatic. And I can say I love you and you'll think, this guy hates me. So the words don't actually deliver the message. What delivers the message is the carrying wave. There's a carrying wave that actually you can think about it as the channel of a river. And inside this channel, the actual words moving. So how does it look like? It look on that carrying wave, the wave of the words is actually get riding on the carrying wave, and the carrying wave give the meaning to the words. Now this carrying wave is defined by how much you like people. If you don't like people, you will not have money. Why? People that don't like people have this carrying wave cut in many, many points. And so the actual money do not arrive.
Wow. Interesting.
And you will see the more you like people, the more money you will have. And the unbelievable idea is that when you don't like people, what you actually saying, you said they are wrong, they are wrong, they are wrong, they are wrong, they are wrong. You say, I don't want to communicate with them. I don't want to communicate with them. I don't want to communicate with them. They're bad, they're bad, they're bad. No one wants to communicate with fire, with disease, with bullets. And you don't want it. It's wrong for you. Yes. And you try to keep it away from you, consciously or unconsciously. You don't go around, even if you don't go around and say, I don't want to be hit by the virus. I don't want to be hit by a virus. You know that virus is bad. So you try to prevent virus, and most people don't get viruses. Actually, most people don't die from the viruses because they prevent it. They don't want it. They don't want it. So they don't get the virus, the good or the bad of the virus, because you say it's bad. If you say it's bad, you actually cut the communication line. And you cut it in a very specific way. I will explain it later. But the bottom line is, you don't like people, you will not have money.
So the person just needs to start really liking people and more money will come.
Yeah. Now, why a person will not like people? Because what's the problem to like people? Because what an average person say, the average person says, he says, look, I'm right. Everyone will say, I'm right, I'm right, I'm right. And what they say, when they say I'm right, they actually say everyone else is wrong. So if everyone else is wrong, of course you don't like them because they are wrong. So you've got yourself, and let's say this is the whole universe, and there is 8 billion viewpoints. 8 billion people, 8 billion viewpoints. If they're Jewish, so for every one person, there's 2 viewpoints. And if it's a Jewish with a split personality, 4 viewpoints.
That must mean an Indian person must have like 10 viewpoints.
So now what happens is that when you say I'm right, you make 7.9 billion people wrong, which means I don't want to communicate with them. So when someone tells you are wrong, do you want to help him or do you want to hurt him? No. When someone says you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're stupid, you're stupid, you're stupid, you don't want to go and work with. That's what happened. You actually block money coming to you by thinking that people are wrong. You want a lot of money. All you have to do is you need to know 2 things, and immediately you become Jewish. I mean, immediately you will have a lot of money. 2 things. Number 1, you need to know that you are perfect. Anything that is not perfect is not you. When you do something that it's not right, you tell yourself, why am I doing it? I know it's not me, and it's really not you. And it's not important who is the not you right now, but it's not you. So you are perfect, but only for as long as you allow everyone else to be at least as perfect as you.
Very beautiful. I like the way you put that.
Thank you. If you can think about yourself as I'm perfect and everyone is as perfect as me, which means I'm allowing them to have the viewpoint. The next thing that happen is endless amount of communication. And when you have a lot of communication, you have a lot of money. You have as much money as you can communicate.
That makes a lot of sense, because if someone went and spent time in a place where there's not many people and they don't have the internet and they didn't speak to anyone, they wouldn't have much money if they started
Exactly.
at zero. So it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and you will see that the universe, across the world, people get more and more and more rich because there's better communication channels. So people build roads, so there is more wealth. When there's no roads, there's no wealth. There's local wealth within the village, but this is not wealth, yes? So have a little bit more than others, but once there's roads, once there's communication, once you say, oh, these people are nice, whoa, I like them, you start to do business with them, everything is good. But if you go around and you say, they're dangerous, and those guys are dangerous, and those guys are not good, and those guys are not good, and those guys are really bad, and I don't like those guys, and I don't like these people because they come from Israel, and these people I don't like them because they come from India, and these people I don't like because they come from Egypt, and this guy, and you all of a sudden don't like anyone, and you don't have money. So you will be as wealthy as you are willing to communicate.
Very, very interesting. Makes so much sense to me. So, Mir, what about some of these people who are saying, oh, money is the root of all evil, money is bad, money is not good?
That's only poor people.
What's that? Sorry, say that again.
Only poor people say that money is the source of all. I'll take any person that says that money is the source of all evil, and I give him $1 billion on a plate.
He won't say that anymore, yeah?
He will forget that. He will explain to you that he was just joking. Only poor people say that. You know, when someone really failed to such a degree that he totally defeated, he will tell you, I didn't want to win. Of course he wanted to win. No, I didn't even intend to win. I don't mind. Yes, she left me. I don't mind. I really didn't want her. Of course he wanted her. He had his heart broken, and then when he deteriorated, when he really realized that he lost, he doesn't even want it anymore. But of course he wanted, but he's just suppressing the fact that he wanted. She will come to him. Did you see this guy that have this lady, and he really loves her, and everything goes amazing, and they're going out, but she decided not going to do it. And she leaves him, and his heart is broken. And the first year he's trying to get her back, and he dreams about her, and he tries, and he changes, and he do all kind of things, and he starts to go to the gym and whatever, and he wants to get her. And after 2, 3, 4, 5 years, he starts to forget about her, and it doesn't work. So he tried to forget her even more, but still it doesn't really work. So he decides, you know what? I actually never wanted her, and she's not good for me. And actually, it's much better without her. And he started to come up with all kind of stories that explain why he actually did not lose, why he actually was not wrong. But if she will come to him and says, I actually love you, it will take him exactly minus 20 seconds to say yes. So it's not real.
Very, very interesting. I love it. So I got another question, but this time it's about relationships, because you led into it very nicely. So what does a relationship actually mean? And how can someone immediately start to improve their relationship?
Okay. So the purpose of relationships has to be really, really understood. And if you don't understand the purpose of relationships, relationship will deteriorate. The purpose of all relationship is that the people that involve in the relationship will maximize the potential of all the partners in the relationships. So if I have a relationship with my wife, my purpose is to maximize her potential, not to define her potential, not to force her, not to tell her what she will become, not to tell her what she can do and not can do. It is only to maximize the potential. I should not tell my son what he should become or what he should do or not do, but I should make him so powerful that he will take his potential and I will help him to maximize it, not to define it, not to change it, not to massage it. It's just to maximize it. Wherever he wants to go, whatever is real for him, to maximize it.
See, that's so interesting. That's so interesting because most of the time...
I lost you. My amplifier just turned off by himself. It was too powerful for the amplifier, what I was saying. So the amplifier just said, wow, that's the way for the amplifier to say, wow, that was amazing.
Is it back on?
Okay, almost there. Here we go. Now I can hear you.
So that's so interesting what you were saying, and the amplifier, of course, agreed. But that's so interesting because most people are trying to control the other person or own the other person, but you're saying actually it's better to let them decide for themselves what's the best for them and then to fully support them with that.
Yeah. People mix the word relationship with ownership. Relationship is not ownership. The fact that I marry you or marry my wife do not mean that I own her. I don't have, she's not a thing. I own cars. I don't own people. I own a business. I don't own people. I own my computer. I don't own people. And relationships are between people. And when we talk about relationships between people, the big mistake is that people think that they have relationship with robots. No, it's the other person is not a machine. The other person is a human being exactly like yours. That of course, the only thing that he wants is to be understood and to get the help that he needs to maximize his potential. Not the help that I want to give him, the help that he needs to maximize his potential. And if I'm a good friend, which you should be a good friend to the people around you, what your job is that despite anything the other person doing, despite all invitation to be owned, to be controlled, to be punished, you never own the other person, you never punish the other person, you never control the other person. The only thing that you do, you grant him enough importance, enough beingness, believe in him enough, know that he is perfect, exactly like you, and all the help that he needs is to maximize his potential. Nothing else.
So, what's your perspective on marriage? Apart from the fact that all people get married are crazy, what's your other... What's your perspective on that? What's your view on marriage? What do you think?
I think marriage is one of the most important thing in society because society is built on a gradient scale. You've got individuals and you've got marriages that create families, that create groups, that create countries, that create mankind, etc. If you remove the marriage out, you actually destroy the society. Why? Because now the gradient between an individual to a group is so big. You know, what's the problem that, let's say you go to court and it is the people of the United States against Joe Blow. All the 300 million people against this one guy. It is so overwhelming. It's like impossible to handle. So what's the correct way is to build this gradient scale that says, look, this is the individual. And the individual is a beginning of marriage. that is part of a family, that is part of the wider family, and that is part of a group, that is part of a bigger group, that is part of mankind, that is part of the universe, etc. And then there is some kind of a logical gradient. And then the person can handle it. But when that gets away, when marriage is getting attacked, then what you have miserable people, because now you've got individuals fighting against society. It's impossible to fix. It's impossible to win. It's very difficult. That's why most people finding it difficult, because they have problems in their marriage and in their families. You will see that every time a person lost money on business, he had a problem with the family. Some kind of a problem that relate to family. He cheated his wife, he lies to his brother, he stole from his sister, he did something with the family that was not right, and then he had a financial disaster. Every financial disaster preceded by a family-related ethical situation. Why? Because the gradient scale it's built like that. I'm married for 35 years now.
Wow.
And yes, and I think that my wife is the best thing that happened to me.
Wow.
Yeah. Why? Because we build this thing that we maximizing each other potential. It's not that I own her or she owns me, but we maximize each other potential. And when these things do not happen, I've seen that everything breaks. And when it is happening, the children have the same viewpoint, and all of a sudden you see that the children have such a good relationship with themselves, because they understand because children don't learn by what you tell them. Children learn by what they see. So when they see this kind of relationship, they automatically learn that the way to actually improve in life is to help each other, to maximize that potential. And all of a sudden they apply it to themselves, and they apply it with their friends. And my son is 28 years old, and Gali, he's married and extremely successful. And you can see that the one thing that you can say about Gal, that he has good relationship with people. He really helped them to maximize their potential. He has a good relationship with his wife, exceptionally good relationship with his wife. He has a good relationship with her parents. We have an amazing relationship with her parents, because I admire them like more than my parents. Like, they're so amazing. I love them so much. And when that's the viewpoint, everything grows.
That's wonderful. That's really beautiful. And Mir, where can people go to learn more from you? I mean, your people know, but there's other people who are going to watch.
Yes. So the first thing that I suggest is to join the webinar that I'm doing on Wednesday. So on Wednesday, join the webinar. It's free, and you will learn a lot of things. It is about relationship and emotions, but in order to understand relationship and emotion, you need to understand life. So you will understand life. But if you generally just want to get more data today, all you have to do is to go to meirezra.com, and you will find a lot of free material there that you can just get for free. You can go to the Family Academy, get material. There's the 100X recordings. There's a lot of material there. Of course, you can just follow me on Instagram, Meir Ezra Official, and you'll get all kind of quotes and videos and so on and so on. Or go to YouTube and just follow my channel, and tons of video, a lot of gold, like better than gold, a lot of stuff that will really change your life.
This is incredible, Mir. Do we have time for one or two more questions? Quick questions.
Yes. Let me just say again hi to people. So I see that Arjuna is here, and Anita is here, and Swapna. And Swapna say hi, looking forward to the webinar. Yes, and hi Meir. And she said hi Vishal.
Swapna.
Yes, Swapna, we like Swapna. And we've got Anita that say hi, Mayor and Vishal.
Hi, Anita.
And Arjuna, hi, my other family. Yes, Arjuna, so nice. We love Arjuna. Very special person. And then we've got Swapna, love this, and more. Hi, hola, Mayor. Really amazing session. My greatest mentor. Thank you very much. And here we've got Galit. Hi, Galit. Hi from Israel. Beautiful, amazing person, and she has the best child in the universe. So aware, so spiritual, so out of this world. She have the best child. This child, she's going to change the world. I have no doubt about her. She has a very important part in the future of this universe.
Wow.
Amazing. Yeah, very, very amazing. So yes, thank you for joining, everyone. And yes, of course, last question.
One last question, yeah. So, Mir, let's say that someone is doing okay in life and things seem to be okay for them and based on other people's view of them, but something inside of this person just feels really empty. There's a deep sense of, I don't belong, things don't make sense, I feel so empty, my life is worthless, I don't feel I have a purpose, I try everything but things aren't working out, and I just don't think anything's worth it. What's the point? They have that going through their mind. What can they do to help themselves? And what can other people do to help them as well?
Yeah, so let's understand why a person will feel that the purpose is gone, why there's no point, basically. Why should I do anything? Okay, I will explain the basic principle first, and then I'll give you the handling. Okay, so it goes like that. If this is you, okay, if this is you, and let's make you green. And this is your purpose. Okay, this is your purpose in life. And you set up your purpose by the age of 2. A person knows his purpose by the age of 2. And the problem is that you have a purpose, okay? And at the same moment, as you go through your life, you do things that you consider are not exactly right. You lie a bit and you cheat a bit. And every time that you do something that you think that is not exactly right, you hide it from people. You don't go to the New York Times and says, hey, I just stole $100, yes? You prefer that it's not there, yes? So you put a lot of what I call blinders to make sure that no one will see it, because you don't want them to see it, yes? It's embarrassing. And you also think that if you will tell them, they will get hurt. They will get upset, they will get hurt. You think that if you'll tell them, you actually do something bad against them. So what you do during your life, every day, you put more and more of those blinders. And you put them, in order to make sure that no one will see it. Yes, you don't want someone to see what you've done here, so you put a blinder, and you don't want someone to see what you've done here, so you put a blinder, yes? The problem is that those blinders blind you from your purpose. You don't have a purpose, and the purpose is the fuel for the person.
Interesting.
And when you don't see your purpose, you cannot go towards your purpose. So what happened, you start to go in circles, but the circle that you start to go a dwindling spiral, because every time there's another blinders that push you not to look so far out. So you become smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and less able, because you don't want anyone to do about it, to a point where you totally forget about your purpose. And you think that your only purpose is not to die, or your purpose is not to lose, or your purpose is not to have pain. That should never be a purpose of a person.
Interesting.
Because your purpose should never be not to die. Your purpose should be to live, not to die.
True.
Your purpose should be to win, not to lose. Your purpose should be to be happy, not to experience pain.
Makes sense.
When the purpose has switched because there's no purpose, so any purpose is better than no purpose.
So how do you help someone in that situation?
So what you need to do is you need to remove those blinders, and there's a specific techniques to remove those blinders. And if someone feels that this is where he is, he simply need to go and do the Fear to Freedom. The introductory lessons can be found on meirezra.com. It is $9. It is very easy to do. It is, you do it, you realize what it is, and then you need to do the full course, but it will tell you a lot of what's actually going on, and it will help you so you can start to see what's going on around you.
So anyone who's struggling with finding or discovering or rediscovering their purpose, they just need to do Fear to Freedom and they'll find the answer.
100%, and it's money back guaranteed.
Wow.
If you didn't recover, you'll get your money back.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so even if you've done the course and you've done the whole thing, the whole 20 whatever lessons and blah, 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 and it didn't work for you, which never happened, but let's say no one asked me for refund for that course. But if it did happen, you'll get your money back. So zero risk for you.
No risk, yeah.
Yeah, no risk basically. No, not basically, there's no risk.
Meir, thank you so much for your time. You're an amazing teacher. I've known you for 5 to 6 years now, maybe a little bit longer, and you've helped me a lot, so I'm very grateful to you, and I know you help a lot of people. So thank you for everything that you do for everyone.
Thank you, and I know you for a long time, and you know, we spoke once, and I told you that one of the most amazing thing about you is that usually when a person gets into a corner, he behaves in not optimal behavior. And I've seen you in the worst corner and you behaved wow. And that was, for me, admirable. I will never forget that.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, very amazing. Okay, so thank you everyone. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching that. And we are going to end up with this short video. And Vishal, thank you very, very much. And also thank you for Shamaya that organized everything in the background and did the whole thing. And please share, create watch groups and share this data. It's really important. Vishal, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.